Greetings, adventurer. My name is Jack, and welcome to my study on the infinite staircase. From the nine hells' burning depths emerge the succubi and incubi, fiends that specialize in the manipulation of others through illusions and seduction. Through the overwhelming corruption of a pure mortal soul, these flirtatious fiends make themselves invaluable assets to all of Tanari society, and are often granted high-ranking positions next to even the most powerful of demon lords. Today we'll be covering the general appearance, stats, and behavior of a succubus, and at the end take a look at a unique succubus that breaks their usual archetype in an intriguing way. In their true forms, succubi radiate an otherworldly allure that transcends mere physical beauty. High cheekbones and gracefully arched eyebrows frame a pair of bewitching eyes that gleam with barely concealed mischief, flashing with colours of crimson, violet, and gold. A seductive, playful smile makes way for a smooth and persuasive voice. Tapered horns sprout from just above their temples, curving elegantly backwards or spiraling in delicate shapes that betray an infernal heritage. Shiny, flowing hair, usually either black or red, cascades over slender shoulders and down a graceful back. At the base of her spine, a long, sinuous tail coils and flicks with restless energy, the tip sometimes ending in a wicked barb. Large, leathery wings fold neatly along her body, which, when extended, create an imposing silhouette that contrasts sharply with her otherwise graceful figure. Their torsos are typically clad in form-fitting attire, stitched from dark leathers or shimmering silks, designed to accentuate every curve. Even the fingertips of succubi carry a hint of menace. Elongated nails or subtly sharpened claws protrude, suggesting that seduction is not her only weapon. Whether shrouded in veils of enchanted fabric or wrapped in intricate jewelry set with gleaming gemstones, every aspect of her appearance is meticulously crafted to enthrall. Around her hangs an intangible aura, a mix of subtle perfume and ambient heat entices unwary mortals to draw closer. Yet beneath the seductive veneer lies a predatory presence, perpetually ready to exploit the vulnerability of those thoughtless enough to be enchanted. Succubi are shape-shifting fiends of medium size, neutral evil in their alignment. They have an armor class of 15 with a hit point rating of 66 and can move 30 feet per turn, increasing up to 60 feet per turn when flying. Their strength is set at a fairly low 8, which they make up for with a high 17 in dexterity. A constitution of 13 means that they are fairly durable creatures. But where they truly shine is in their mental attributes. Intelligence is set at 15 and wisdom at 12, making way for a huge 20 in charisma and cementing the succubus as a master of social manipulation. They have a proficiency in deception, insight, perception, persuasion, and stealth, with a damage resistance to cold, fire, lightning, and poison, along with resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing non-magical attacks. They have dark vision up to 60 feet and a passive perception of 15, which makes them fearsome predators in the dark, capable of reading small changes in their immediate environment. Their traits include telepathic bond, allowing them to ignore any range restrictions on their telepathy when communicating with a creature they have charmed, including creatures on other planes of existence entirely. They also have Shape Changer, which allows them to use an action on polymorphing themselves into a small or medium humanoid, or back into their true form. Any form they take without wings loses the capability of flying, and they share all statistics in each form other than speed and size. Any equipment the succubus is carrying on transformation remains unchanged, and it reverts back to its true form in death. A succubus can use one of 4 actions per turn, those being Claw, a single target melee weapon attack with a reach of 5 feet and a +5 to hit, which is limited to only their true fiendish form. Charm, which allows the succubus to force a wisdom saving throw of 15 on a target it can see within 30 feet. On failure, the target becomes magically charmed for up to a day. The target obeys all verbal or telepathic commands, but if they should suffer any harm or receive a suicidal command, they can repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on success. On a successful roll, or when the charm naturally expires, the target becomes immune to the charms of that succubus for up to the next 24 hours. They can also use an action on Draining Kiss, which is extremely powerful. Kissing a charmed or willing creature and causing a Constitution saving throw of 15. On failure, the target takes 32 psychic damage, or half as much on a success. The target's maximum hit point rating is reduced by an amount equal to the damage taken, and lasts until the target takes a long rest. Death occurs if this effect reduces the target's hit point maximum to 0. Finally, they could use an action on Etherealness, which transports the succubus to the ethereal plane from the material plane, or vice versa. They can speak the languages Celestial, Draconic, Abyssal, Common, and Infernal. They also know the language of the gods, Supernal, which translates any word spoken by the succubus to another sentient creature into a language that they can understand. They can use the spell Tongues on either themselves or a touched creature, which allows them to speak and understand additional languages. Along with speaking all these languages, succubi can communicate telepathically. Used in conjunction with Supernal, they can communicate with almost every race without even needing to open their mouths. Fiendish succubi are known to slip through walls using etherealness to reach the bedside of sleeping mortals where they would linger, filling the victim's dreams with debauched scenes and whispers of forbidden pleasures. Over the course of many nights, tempting them to indulge in dark desires, appetites, and taboos, subsequently making them more vulnerable to temptation in the waking world. After enough nights have passed, the succubus then enters the mortal realm to make contact with their victim directly. Taking on a more pleasing form that their victim may have seen previously in their dreams, they further entice them to indulge all their desires and to perform evil acts of their own free will. Once their victim is utterly corrupted, having committed a betrayal of thought, word, and deed, their soul falls into the grip of the succubus without need of contract or pledge. Finally, on gaining what they desired so deeply, the succubus slays their victim, leading their corrupted soul down to the lower planes of Avernus as their prize. They take such great pleasure in corrupting mortals that they often deliberately seek out more virtuous victims to slowly twist their morals, even though the process takes longer. They would avoid using enchantments as a means of control because a charmed mortal is not truly responsible for their actions, their soul avoiding complete corruption. Charms are only used as a means of self-defense, their lethal kiss remaining to be used as either a parting shot in the case of discovery or as a final, deadly assault. Moving on now to succubi notorious throughout the realms for their various wicked deeds. There was the one known as Arunica, whom planned to weaken the warring factions of Thay and Shadowvar by playing them off one another, waiting for a time in which they would be easy pickings for the Abalethic sovereignty. She originally allied with Herzgo Allegni of the Shadowvar. However, her plans quickly changed when the powerful sorceress Silora Sarm was defeated through the alliance of a legendary Drow ranger, Dritz Duerden, and warrior Dahlia Sinfel, thus empowering Thay beyond anything Shadowvar could compete with. She then failed to assist Allegni in his battle with Dritz and Dahlia, instead searching for information that might weaken their alliance through her contacts in the Abyss. She was later killed by a figure known as Brother Anthus for the motives behind her illicit relationship with Allegni. The succubus Bloodden inhabited the breeding grounds of the Abyss and was bound to Amon Jero to increase his already powerful warlock abilities. Bloodden prided herself on the many mortal men, some even of celestial descent, that she had mated with, bragging that none had survived her violent mating habits. Sonilon, also known as the Queen of Whispers and the Youthful Crone, was the demon lord of Spirac, the 71st layer of the Abyss. She appeared in the form of a succubus during her time on Toril, instigating civil wars across the nations of Chondath and Impiltur, nearly bringing complete ruin upon the Forgotten Kingdom. She was exceptionally gifted in corrupting mortals, having access to a myriad of mind-controlling abilities, along with the power to siphon the life force from any mortal she touched. Once per day she could attempt to summon a powerful Balor to serve under her will, albeit with a limited chance of success. She often preferred to summon her comrade in war, Ndulu, who himself sought to take revenge upon the Demonlands in Faerun. Within her domain in Spirac existed a pool of regeneration that attracted travellers from across the planes of existence, where they could draw upon its power by willingly sacrificing a potion of their free will to Sonalon. And lastly, possibly the most unique succubus, the one known as Fall from Grace. A polar opposite to the typical succubus archetype, Fall from Grace would not rely on her beautiful appearance to persuade anyone. She was additionally chaste and had no interest in pleasures of the flesh, valuing good conversation and new intellectual experiences above all, to the point of founding an establishment named the Brothel for slaking intellectual lusts, in which customers would engage in intellectual debates and conversation with its workers. Extremely perceptive and skilled in the art of discussion, she was very calm and composed, able to retain a clear mind in all conditions. She used her extreme intelligence to escape the Nine Hells at a young age and made her home in Sigil as a cleric. Now, we've covered everything you might need to know about succubi. I'd hope this information serves you well, adventurer, and remember to keep your will steeled should you ever encounter one you fear to be a succubus. If you'd like to hear about other creatures of the multiverse, I'll leave a portal down below. Safe travels.